In 1998, I was a small child with a dream. I wanted a dog more than anything in the world, a little puppy that would be my best friend. On Christmas of 1998, did I get a dog? No, this isn't me, and that's not my dog. Instead, I got a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red and Blue. For the next year, I was glued to my Game Boy like these kids, except they probably had better control of their F's. And then in 1999, Pokemon 2 came out, except it was called Gold and Silver. And you know what I wanted for Christmas? Still a dog, but also Pokemon. And you know what I was told? We have Pokemon at home. It was 14 years later before I got a new Pokemon game. I was in college at the time, living with 8 other guys in a house on campus. It went a little something like this. Hey, what's up, Mitch? Yo, Mike, you busy? I got a lab report to finish, but why are you wearing sunglasses? Cool. You got a DS? Yeah? How would you like to play a 4-year-old remake of a 14-year-old Pokemon game? Let me get this straight. You're asking me, an underpaid, overworked undergrad student that has no job prospects and no internships lined up with only 1 year left to graduation, I would want to procrastinate with a children's game that's one step away from digital cockfighting. Well, when you put it that way, hell yeah, man. Don't you have a lab report to finish? It's not due until... I've still got 5 hours. What star are you choosing? And that began my totally healthy obsession with Pokemon. After completing Soul Silver, I played Platinum, X and Y, Omega Ruby, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Let's Go Pikachu, Sword and Shield, and now Arceus. When I saw previews for this game, I was excited and then immediately disappointed. Who stole all of Shinx's frames? Give them back. Since the first trailer, I didn't really follow the development of this game. Game Freak had been steadily removing features and cutting corners on the series ever since X and Y, so I expected similar disappointment. Well, today, I have played through Arceus, and I'm ready to tell you what I think. This is GG Review, Pokémon Legends, Arceus. That was way too many colons. Pokemon Arceus is the first Pokemon game in years to completely change the formula. Gone are routes, gym battles, and random encounters. Instead, we have open-world Pokemon, with action-style dodging, throwing, and battling. The battles are still turn-based, but much like Persona 5, the battles are very quick, lasting a few seconds if you get that sweet, super effective attack. Additionally, because random encounters don't exist, you get to choose all of your engagements. Want to battle this Croagunk? Well, he's poison fighting, so let's get a Psyduck out there and hit him with a Psychic attack. That should end the fight in seconds. Also, even though the fighting is turn-based, everything is still happening in real time. So if you know your Psyduck is going to wipe the floor with that weird blue frog, just keep on running while your Pokemon finishes the fight. Don't worry, he'll teleport back to you when he's done cleaning the blood off its hands. And that's what really makes Arceus fun. Not the blood. There's no blood in the game. I'm talking about the pacing. Everything you do is based on throwing balls, food, globs of mud, and of course, your Pokemon. Gathering notes? Throw a Pokemon at it and it'll gather that shit for you. Berries in a tree? Throw a Pokemon at that and it'll shake that shit down. You can do all of this in a fire and forget manner because your Pokemon will just teleport back to you when it's finished. Even the catching is fire and forget. See this group of Bidoof? I'm just going to huck a bunch of Pokeballs and continue on. The pace of play is really the bread and butter of this game. It's incredibly refreshing to do things quickly in a Pokemon game. Even when daunted with the giant laundry list of research tasks per Pokemon, it doesn't feel too much like a chore because you can accomplish these tasks fairly quickly. And that brings me to my next point. Pokemon Arceus isn't about gym battles or becoming the very best like no one ever has. It's about Pokemon, which sounds stupid to say, but truly, this is the first game that actually puts the Pokedex and the Pokemon within at the forefront. You work as a researcher, collecting and studying Pokemon. Sure, there are battles and a main story to play through, but the badge system is replaced by rank stars. They're accrued by filling out your Pokedex. It gives a feeling similar to games like Monster Hunter, and that style of the game really works in this universe. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy and hope for another battle-centric mainline Pokemon game. But Arceus is a nice breath of fresh air into a formula that was getting increasingly stale. And I won't go into the boss fights to avoid any spoilers, but let me just say, if you enjoy action-style combat games, the fights definitely deliver. They're fun, challenging, and different from anything you've ever seen in a Pokemon game. So Game Freak made huge strides in Pokemon gameplay, but they didn't stop there. They went a step further with some really great quality of life improvements. As a veteran Pokemon player, these changes absolutely shine through. Gone are moves being forgotten. Now each Pokemon has a list of moves that they add to throughout their leveling journey. You can access this list whenever and freely change out their moves depending on the situation and your preferences. Turns out, most Pokemon don't have Goldfish Brain. Who knew? Additionally, the inventory system got a major overhaul. Granted, it looks pretty much copied and pasted from Breath of the Wild, but gone are the lists upon lists of items in your inventory. Instead, we now have a grid system. We also now have an inventory limit, which is annoying, but makes sense given the shift to an open world game. They also added crafting! Pokeballs, potions, and various other items from previous games are still available for purchase in town. However, now you can just craft them. And the environments are chock full of resources, so basically anything that you might need, even revives, can be crafted for free, leaving you to use your money for much more important things like bag upgrades, fashion, or even haircuts. I think this edition was brilliant, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Alright. Look at the Growlithe. He's the most adorable best boy ever. And if 6-year-old me was playing this game, he would be a fantastic substitute for the dog I always wanted. Growlithe, 10 out of 10. It goes without saying that Pokemon has never been a frontrunner in the graphics department. Pokemon Arceus is no different. I will say they improved the fighting animations finally, but the graphics just struggle in this game. I don't want to blame Game Freak, and I really want to say that it's just because of the Switch hardware, but compare Arceus with Breath of the Wild. Same hardware, but one looks significantly worse. Arceus has barren landscapes and a lifeless town. Why is this? As I said in the intro, Game Freak is known for cutting corners with their Pokemon games, and unfortunately, it's always glaringly apparent. Why does the water shader increase pixelation? Why was that the design decision there? Why do these trees not cast shadows on themselves, but the leaves have shadows on the undersides of them? Speaking of that shading, why is it so dark? It's black when it should probably be like dark green. Everything looks a little off, a little unfinished. The draw distance is another thing. Watching things pop in ranges from funny to off-putting. Why were the asset load times not better optimized? Let's take a look at Professor Laventon. His entire outfit is off in different ways in different locations. You have his Team Galaxy insignia that has artifacting. Then the buttons on his vest are perfectly clear, while the buttons on his jacket sleeves have so much artifacting that they're blurry. Why do these issues exist? Game Freak, add another gigabyte to this game so we can have proper shaders, please. Another thing is Pokemon density. I was playing this game for my friends last night, as they all wanted to check it out, and I ran around for easily 5 minutes without seeing a single Pokemon. It was honestly funny as hell, but also weird. Personally, I think the Pokemon density, though low, is okay. The problem seems to lie in their respawn timers. I think what ended up happening last night is I cleared out that area before my friends came over, and in the 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay, that area didn't repopulate. If you're going to have low Pokemon density for the sake of the game's performance, that's fine. But you have to trick the player into making it feel like it isn't low density. You have to make sure that there aren't instances of just barren nothingness. This can be done by making sure your areas repopulate quickly, even if it is only 2 or 3 Pokemon in that area of the map. Speaking of the map, it's a little bit of a letdown. The zones are large, but there's only 5 of them. 6 if you count the town, which I'm not. Each zone at least has changing weather, a day-night cycle, and a different environment, but it feels like there's something lacking. Maybe DLC would add another zone or two and make the game feel a bit more complete? I'm not really sure. Additionally, the game isn't really open world. Each zone is instanced. You can only travel to a zone from town. To make matters worse, if you want to switch from one zone to another, you have to go back to town, then leave town again. That's 2 loading screens to move to one new area. It's not the friendliest system, and it was kind of a letdown when I was expecting to be able to just run out through the front gate of town, maybe traverse a route for a minute or two, and then end up in the first expansive zone. Granted, the map is a big upgrade from the wild areas of Sword and Shield, and are something we've never seen in a Pokemon game. I want to get that perfectly clear. I just feel like what we were given is more of a proof of concept and less a final cut. Speaking of final cuts, I have a few questions for Game Freak. What the hell is up with this flag? Clearly it's too big for this flag stand. It's clipping through the stand itself. I thought maybe you guys sized it wrong, but then over here is a flag of the same size on a flag stand that fits it. So how did this get through QA? This is in the main town. There is a cutscene with it in the background. Do you guys even have QA? Oh, and one other thing. Who came up with this story? Sorry. Spoiler warning. Why did you decide on an isekai storyline? I know it's super popular in Japanese anime, but it happened out of nowhere. No promotional material said that it was going to be an isekai. Just the most off-putting thing at the start of the game. And then to take the story and mimic similar story points as Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum? Come on, guys. Speaking of story, Game Freak, it's 2022. Hire some goddamn voice actors already. These cutscenes shouldn't be so silent and lifeless. Okay, UI question. Why do enemy Pokemon have their health bars exclusively over their heads, while my Pokemon only have it in the bottom left corner? It'd be nice if my Pokemon had a health bar over its head as well, just saying. Oh, and can we ask who at Game Freak is stealing frames from these characters? Look at this poor lady who's just trying to sweep the walkway, but she can't because she's stuck in a PowerPoint presentation. Oh my god, you got Abra with it too? We're standing right here. How is this possible? Alright. I've had my fun. I'll stop poking holes at the game. Pokemon Arceus is a really good game. A surprisingly good game. I expected the worst and probably got the best I could imagine out of Game Freak. I think anyone who likes Pokemon would enjoy this game. I also think if Pokemon wasn't your thing because either you didn't like turn-based combat, or you felt the games were too slow, or you hate random encounters in JRPGs, trust me, I feel you on that, give this a shot. I think a lot of people who don't like traditional Pokemon will truly enjoy this game, especially if you like Pokemon Go or games like Monster Hunter. Hell, Even the Pokédex reminds me of the hunting logs in Final Fantasy XIV. That being said, the game isn't a masterpiece. And if you go in expecting that, you're going to be disappointed. And I say this because I've seen the 10 out of 10 reviews out there. Too many people are drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. The game has its faults. It can feel unfinished or under budget at some points due to the few zones and a fake open world. The graphics are not up to snuff when titles like Breath of the Wild exist. And environments can feel empty at points due to lack of detailing or lack of Pokemon altogether. Overall, Pokémon Legends Arceus is a great litmus test for a new line of games in the Pokemon universe, but it feels more like a prototype for future Legends games to come. Thanks for watching. 2022 really started off with a bang with Pokemon Arceus, and I'm excited to see what else lies ahead. Special shout out to our $5 patrons, Jeremy R. and Ishmael S. I'll leave you with this blooper. Stay groovy, everyone. Hell yeah, man. Let's go.